Well, hello everybody. How are you today? It's a few minutes late, and I apologize. I had the Gary time happen. I had some mic issues, but we're all solved. We're all good. There's a bunch of you here. Like, geez, guys, you're wasting no time. There's Munchausen, Xena Moore, the Jack of all casuals says, I demand a recount. Of course he demands a recount. What's up, dude? STX Robstar. What's up, man? How you doing? Omega Star Productions. Hello, hello, hello. The Islington girl. What's up as always? Happy to see you. Whoopa troopa, whoopa troopa, whoopa troopa. Nothing like an 8-minute notification. Hail all. Elegabulous. What's up, dude? And oh, yes, we call him Snake. And we'll definitely talk about the cultural influence of Mr. One Snake Plissken, the angry gamer. Hello, hello, sir. You guys are always spitting out the facts and the stats all up in this chat. D. Bud Martin. Hello, sir. Nice to see you here. Hello, I'm 29. What's up, man? Another monster. We will relax just because you're here. Nice to see you here. Joshua Gonzalez. Hello and hail chat. What's up, man? Welcome to Toxic Tuesday. Once again, I apologize for being a few minutes late, but you know, it is what it is. The show must go on. Punk Waddle, what's up? What's up? I'm going to introduce my panelists here, and coming back here from the crow's nest of the Mead Layer, Mr. Jesse Miller. Hey, you're boomering.
I muted myself to be polite. But in that case, hurrah.
Hello. How's it going, bud?
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Can't complain. Everything is turning up Millhouse.
Nice.
Except the stock market. So
Except the
let's go,
stock,
Brandon.
yeah. Like I got, hey, cheer, hey, everyone in the chat, let's go, Brandon. I got coffee tonight, but let's go, Brandon. So, cheers and beers to everyone here, and let's go, Brandon. Well, dude, I'm glad you could join us again. This is gonna be fun one to talk about. I mean, anything involving Kurt Russell is gonna be
And
pretty
nice
much like a
hat, by the
given.
way.
Well, thank you. I love the band. So, yeah, big fan, you know. And STX Robstar says the same thing. He says LGBT time. Yeah, let's go, Brandon time.
I identify, I'm an alphabet person now. I can't help it. I never knew it was going to be this way.
Now it really do be like that. It really do, Jesse. Well, I'm glad you could join. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about this movie of greatness, but we're going to bring in our guys. This one's been away from the toxic layers for a bit. And you know him on the Twitterverse. He's the good voice guy. To some, he is Corey. To some, he is Frank Lee. He is Sir Talks a Lot.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here once again. But let's not be nice. How the fuck you doing, Nick?
You look good, man.
You still look like a nice metals rocker guy, yeah?
Yeah.
You're still packing on weight from all of those cereals and stuff?
Oh, all the time, dude. Yeah. All the time. You know
I can see it. You fatty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just... Well, dude, how's everything going? I know, obviously, next week you and I have a one-on-one. I know you and Daddy Division as well the following week. Nice to see you got the live stream coming up, man.
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, just finally figuring out how to kick all that off. I'll get Culture Casino on there and got a few other people I'm going to ask on there. Will at Heroic Studios and various people from around the community. So,
nice.
Should be a good time.
I love it, dude. Badass, my friend. Hell yeah, you're gonna take off some. It's gonna be some serious shit, man. Look forward to chatting with you. It's gonna be nice having. This will be our second round about you and I. So this is like a round 2. Soon we'll have to go for the fatality, but we'll save that fatality for another day. Finish him. We got 2 of the guys waiting in the back. We got a guy hailing from the 70s. He is that 70s rock fan.
I am the Duke. I am number 1.
It's the Duke.
I'm fucking number 1.
I'm the Duke. It's a Brecht nicht.
Last time you ever handcuff a briefcase to your hand, you stupid bastard.
That's right. Why did none of them think of opening the briefcase before he actually shot it open? I mean, they had that briefcase for hours, and they never even thought to
because
look at it.
you have to filly about with your prey a little bit. This is the president of the United States in your court. This is your
President of what? The president of what? No,
yeah, exactly.
Which president? Yeah, well, greetings, everyone. It's great to be here to talk about one of the most fantastic movies ever made. So,
Straight up. No, I'm glad we talk about this one. It's gonna be absolutely magical. What's up, Glinser? I see you. Lasso Truth, hail nerds. What's up, Lasso? And guys,
she's talking to you guys, not me.
Mr. Mad Martigan will be here in a few minutes. Mr. Mad Martigan will be here. He's running late. He's got some stuff going on, but
do we have to let him in?
Oh, of course, we gotta let that toxic son of a bitch in.
Oh,
we're gonna get some serious handies tonight.
Snake threw his gun behind him because fuck it.
But meanwhile, we got our other. I'd like to say he's definitely become a mainstay of sorts on this panel, Toxic Tuesday. He is the Marc D with a C.
Thank you. Yep. So I hope Mads gets here just as soon as Adrian Barbeau shows up in this movie. Like, hopefully he'll time it, just right, so that when a female character appears, right?
Oh, yeah, right. That's what I thought of. Very toxic character, by the way.
Very toxic character. Yep.
She is
toxic.
Yeah.
But thanks for
thanks for having me.
Toxic
face and great tits.
Yes.
But she's all covered up in this movie, right?
Yeah. I never noticed.
Well, the remake. If it was remade, it would be that. It would be that way.
In the remake, the main lead male would have bigger boobs than the female lead in the remake. So.
You're like, hold on a minute. Hold on, I gotta get right.
Yeah, but looking forward to this is a classic. Remember watching this as a kid, and because I'm a little bit older than you, Nick. So, this is one of those toxic, fun, popcorn movies that you'd grab a pizza with and watch in high school again, even though you've seen it a few times.
Oh, absolutely!
It's just awesome movie. Yeah, maybe have a few bears. Don't tell the parents, but.
Of course.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vigilante Williamson in the chat. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. I gotta get you back on here, man. As soon as you're open, dude, I would love to have you back on. VW in the house. All right. Well,
I've got a quick controversial question. Do you guys think that Do you think that Escape from LA was a worthy sequel?
Yes.
I enjoyed it. But the surfing scene fucked with me.
Well, they had to be stupid and cheesy for the time period, but I thought it was a fantastic sequel. Yeah. There's a lot better sequels than we got out of anything these days.
I like when the costume designer was like, we need all the photos we could get of that original costume. And he was like, want me to just bring it in? They're like, what? He's like, it's in my closet. It fits.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, in good shape, right?
All right.
They say it's not that
she
good.
She did this for a reason. The Islington girl here did this for a reason, and she comes in hot for $3. Says, just the tip from Chock Full of Nuts. Thank you for the $3. And she sent that $3 for this very specific purpose.
Nice.
I still think
here.
George should have killed him in the beginning of that movie. I mean, he comes out of the sky, he bombs him once with the fucking battle axe, and he's done. It's like he could have done that on the ship. He's Thor.
He could have done, right? But it's the perfect. Whenever I get money now, that's the clip I play. Is Thanos decking Captain Marvel. It could be any more fitting.
It's
a good thing there's never a Marvel DC crossover because the Flash will definitely slap her.
All right, so we'll do our usual roundabouts and talk about our first initial experiences. My first experience, I was a little bit of I wouldn't say fully late bloomer, but I was like middle of the late bloomer. I actually first discovered I used to be very obsessed with the franchise Metal Gear Solid during the PlayStation 2 days. And I remember when I was playing the character Solid Snake, and I was looking for this character, and you had to look for this guy named Pliskin. And then I remember Snake said, "You're Pliskin, aren't you?" And then all of a sudden I saved the guy, and then one of them was like, "Hold on, Snake Plissken's his name?" I was like, hold on, who's Snake Plissken? He's like, dude, what? So then, of course, I had to watch this movie, and like my only recognition at the time was from Mr. One John Carpenter, and of course, being aware of the amazing Kurt Russell. So I'm like, oh crap, a John Carpenter flick, and I had already seen Big Trouble in Little China, so I'm like, Kurt Russell had more with this man, sweet. And I remember just watching like. This was like right before the big 9/11 happened as well. So to me, like, just it wasn't like seeing the Two Towers. It was just like a normal thing. But like re-looking at it recently, it's just like wow. Like especially like with the whole like cityscape of it between the towers and like the police state atmosphere. Like I was wowed at it then. But now I'm even more wow in the worst ways now.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Two Towers part wrong, but they got everything else exactly right. That's the scary shit.
Well, actually, isn't the movie set in? Isn't it 1997 or something?
Yeah, it said 97.
It's a common failing, though, of science fiction movies that many times they don't put them far enough into the future.
Yeah.
All right, Darius here says Iroquois Pliskin. So that was definitely based off of Snake Plissken. That's for sure. Definitely no coincidence, considering that Solid Snake is basically designed to look like Kurt Russell. So
well, doesn't Metal Gear Solid 2 doesn't he even call himself? There's lots of references to Snake.
There's definitely a lot of
references. Snake kind of looked like Reese from Terminator.
I can see that. I could see why you'd say that. Dragon Master, I see you there. What's up, man? So I'm watching. At the time from the then experience, I was just blown away by the character of Snake Plissken because he pretty much he carries the movie. Like I remember I had seen Halloween 2, so I'm like, hey. That's that Loomis guy, and he's the president. And of course, I remember so one of my buddies like, oh hey, that's Chef from South Park. I'm like, that Chef from South Park? He sounds an accent nothing like it. So that wowed me because my experience at the time was just of Isaac Hayes being Chef from South Park. This is before
you never heard any of his music.
No, I did not. So I was like,
this is before Scientology got it.
Yes, that was before that whole spiel.
And I heard A fucking number Z or whatever. I don't know. Z fucking number. I don't know.
Yeah, they used to in the dark tape.
Script Doctor in the chat. What's up, Script?
Hey, Script.
Fun fact: the 3D model shown in the glider is actually a real model with glow-in-the-dark tape on the buildings to create the virtual effect.
Right.
Way cheaper than using computers in the 80s. Script. Of course, Script's coming in here with the facts. I love it.
Right.
Script, if you got nothing going on,
yeah, 81
give me
you
a
had
shout.
the Apple. Yeah, it's Script Doctor. Yeah, the
they
old original Apple computer, and
it was that
Apple
computer
II.
effect, and that was the way to get it.
Dude,
it was the same in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy TV show. Everyone thinks it's computer graphics. It isn't. That was all drawn. It was all artwork to make it to look like computer graphics.
Right.
I thought the effects held up pretty well. Actually, I just rewatched.
I would say they did, and I'll get before I get to that. No, Script. Thank you for that insight. That is an amazing comment. And if you got nothing going on, dude, you're welcome on in. Otherwise, I will gladly welcome your input in the chat. And we got another guy here.
I just emailed it to him if he's free.
Okay, cool. Mr. Hold on a second. Yeah, Mark, you can just share the thing right now. We can just get on chatting, and let me just get the one clip playing before we do that because we have a certain clip that always needs playing, and it starts with. And that's Mr. Steven Naughton, the deleted scenes for $3.99. Says, hail Nick Weiser, Jesse, Corey, Marky, 70s rock fan wrenches in the chat. What's up, sir? Thank you as always for your
Does anyone else notice that in that scene she saw a big purple head and her eyes got wide?
Yeah.
It scared her and she felt slightly overwhelmed.
Then she got pounded.
She did. So I'm blown away by how badass Snake Plissken is because I'm thinking, holy crap! I was already like a big fan of Solid Snake, So I'm like, dude, this character is the ultimate badass. Like he's just like
Dude.
he's just so super stone cold, and like he says he's like he has very minimal dialogue, but what he says is very like every word counts in what he says. So I love this character. I'm like, dude, this is like the ultimate like badass character, and this is coming up in an era where I already had known about the Rambos and the Terminators of the world. So to see Snake Plissken, that was just like a whole other thing. And I just remember the music. Not only like we've said many times here on Toxic, like it's supposed to like give you a feel for how the scene, like how the movie's supposed to make you feel. But dude, there's a lot of chilling parts in this. There's a lot of chilling parts. Yeah.
I mean,
The
give him
music
credit.
is very chilling in this one. That, like, for me, I was just like, whoa, there's some really scary tonalities going on up in this one. And I couldn't be. I was just like, holy crap. And I'm like, of course, Kurt Russell's got to save the president.
You know what about the music, though? It's like a lot of movies, it's really hard to write music for because, like, you get a script and it doesn't have, it might have an indescript feel to it, but you have to give it feeling and the right emotion. This movie, I mean, it probably reads pretty good off the page. I mean, and you can get a grip of where you're at and what you're doing and what everybody's like and, everything. So it's probably better to just go scene by scene and just add those, like, tonal ambient things. Kind of like what they just did with Doom.
Yeah, no, agree. Oh, I got to read another great script doctor fact. Another fun fact. John Carpenter thought by 1997 there would be a nationwide subway system where one could travel from Florida to LA in a few hours. Was shown in a cut alt opening for this movie. Man, script was awesome.
Well, you know what? Nice. It's not so far-fetched because we have nuclear-powered tunnel boring machines that leave the tunnels like glass, and the elites use them to get around the country.
Script might be able to confirm, but I think that was in Atlanta. It might have been Atlanta. They used the metro there. Or somewhere like that.
And yes, STX. Before I pass the talking to another person, yes, my movie just can't escape the magic of a movie. Like you're right, and I'm watching this. I just like I feel the stakes. I feel the danger. I feel the chills too, even from this. And I'm just like, and then all of a sudden I just see a guy like Plissken coming in and just being the ultimate badass. I'm like, wow, this movie like truly is like. Absolutely just one of its own kind for me at the time. Like I was just like, whoa, dude. So I was just like, and then all of a sudden 9/11 hits, and then 2020, 2021 hits, and now this movie just has weirder, eerier, scarier meaning more now than ever. When you see like the hopping over of like fences and like giant walls.
Hey, Nick, I'm living in a virtual prison in Canada, just like portrayed in the film.
So this movie is done so many things. I'm like, bro, where did they go with that? But, man, fantastic movie. We'll share more thoughts and all that jazz later. Jesse, why don't you talk about your life experience with this movie?
I don't know when I found this movie. I was probably like at least 12 or something. Because I didn't see this one young.
Okay.
But I saw this, and then like 3 years later, they came out with the sequel, which was pretty cool. Because when I went to see Pantera and White Zombie, and
wow,
that was a co-headliner in 1996, and that's when the movie came out. So they played the song off the soundtrack.
That is badass, dude. That's like that's like toxic in every way. I love it.
Oh yeah, it was one of the last times they ever made it to Connecticut.
And then tragedy struck, obviously half a decade later, but we won't go into it. Maybe that'll be a panel for another day.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else you want to add?
I love when he steps off the bus there. You see right in the picture before that where it showed the spray painted sign. You can see the lack of money in the municipal system, yet they have built this for the late 70s, early 80s, extremely modern looking system for this prison state. And it's really cool. It's like just right. It's that mix of old fashioned but possible futuristic that's not too off the mark because they ain't go nuts. I like it.
Dude, yeah, this reminded me of because I had seen originally Air Force One first, so I thought about the pod from Air Force One.
Yep.
I'm like, another movie where they had the pod for the president to escape, but obviously this one
Do you
came
think that pod? Did
15
they drop?
years earlier.
Do you think they dropped that pod, or that's just like in the plane so he survives the crash? Like, do you think they
I
dropped
thought
that
it was thought
pod
it was a parachute pod.
The Islington girl here says, also the pod, let's be real, you could fit 2 or 3 guys there, but no, he peaced out.
I'm the president, damn it.
He
You have
needs
to
his
drop
leg
me in
bone.
Haddonfield.
You'd really want to be in there with Adrian Barbeau, wouldn't you? I mean,
Hey, do you guys think that this movie is what they looked at when they were like, okay, Kurt, you could be Wyatt Earp?
Why? Because he's got like a skinny build. I think his badassery is what balances it out.
It's just that delivery. It's just like, yeah, you're in my seat.
Right.
Full assassin. You got anything else, Jesse, or shall I pass the baton on?
Nah, man. Yeah, keep
Okay.
passing around.
All right.
Quick is good.
All right, Mr. Mark D with a C. Sir, talk about your life story with Escape from New York.
Yeah, well, this was like I said, like a fun movie in high school to watch with, back when we had on VHS. So I can't, it's so long ago, I can't remember if I saw it in the movie theater or not. I don't think so, because wasn't this rated R? This must have been rated R, right? Or no, was it PG?
If this was a PG, this must have. Ooh, I don't know.
This is probably PG back in the you could show your tits PG era.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because that's, I wasn't allowed to go to rated R movies as a Catholic school kid.
Back in the
until I was
80s,
in high school.
like a PG-13 movie was like you could say fuck twice, you could have one set of tits, and you could blow 3 people's heads off.
Well, yeah, because I remember it was at Clash of the Titans, and then the girl walks out topless, and my mom's like trying to cover everyone's eyes, and she's like apologizing. She's like, "But it was PG. What are those? What are those?"
One must
doing
appreciate art, mother.
Yes, yeah. They were magnificent. So yeah, but I mean, this is just like I just remember watching this movie, and just with my buds, and just getting a couple pizzas for the night, and just the scenes in Cabby. Ernest Borgnine is so awesome in this movie. He's a Cabby.
Hell yeah!
And his facial expressions, the way he talks, he's so cool, right? I mean, he's a cool dude.
Because he don't give a shit about anything going on around him. He's just Cabby. Nobody's gonna shoot him.
Pretty sure it was an R, by the way. Pretty sure it was an R.
It was an R. Yep.
It had to be with such a like intense atmosphere. Like and it just seems too dark for it to be. I mean. But I could be wrong. Maybe it is. I'm looking into it right now.
And see, we got
it's R. It was an R-rated movie. Yeah,
see, we got sparkly Batman on the screen right now. There's
this guy sucked a few.
But there's the president's fingers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the president's fingers. Like
I don't want to show that too long. I don't know what the rules these days are.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. It's just a 1980s beautifully made.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Gorgeous. Look at this movie. No, you look at it. It's nice to see actual buildings and actual like landscape. You look at it, and you're like, wow, it feels. Yeah, it actually feels real, and it reminds me of like, and it didn't really settle like in until this whole Toxic Tuesday started. Like I was one of those guys. I guess you could say I was a little bit more moderate about CG in the green screen. But then after watching all these movies the last several weeks, I'm like, man, I forgot how good we had it with these real life
practical effects. They're so much better.
Yeah,
they're so much better, and I'm like, wow, I want more of this. Like I forgot
creativity. Yeah, you know why? Because there'd be some guy who is his job it just goes and finds cool looking places, and then it's just like, okay, for this one prison scene where he walks down the hallway, we got to fly to Germany to go to this train station.
Yeah, I agree with the Islington girl in this scene. Like he's like the ultimate alpha in this scene.
Yo, that guy
they should have a better weapon than a MAC-10, but that's
that looks like the most plasticky gun I've ever seen.
Yeah, but he's got the throwing stars. That was.
Yo, cool. That swastika throwing star looks like it do some fucking damage.
That's right.
I didn't even
that's
notice
problematic.
That
I think.
I look at the radio, but yeah, like the the green screen stuff. There's not much green screen, but the matte work, I should say, is gorgeous in there. So you're looking at New York and you're looking at all the the background scenes. I mean, they did a really fantastic job. So I didn't read much of the script. Doctor sounds like he knows a ton about this movie, but I don't know how much was like on on location or how much was on set. But I lived in New York City, and it looked pretty realistic. And the other thing to mention too is you're coming out of the 70s. You had Jimmy Carter. Things are, I don't get political. Things are repeating themselves. Inflation.
He wasn't a bright man. He was a nice guy, not very bright.
There was a recession on in 81. This movie was made in 80. Interest rates were about 18%. Gas, there were gas lines. You couldn't get gas. So the country was, everyone thought the country was going to hell in a handbasket then. So when this was made, in New York City, we were, in the 70s, the Fort Apache, the Bronx, if you guys know that movie. It's Paul Newman.
Great movie.
And living in New York City, I mean, New York, over 2,000 people a year were getting killed in New York City.
Yeah. That's right, and you could
it
see
was a shit show in New York. Yeah, it was a shit show going on.
Yeah, you had judges
see it going this way.
Yeah, you had judges like the judge called Turn 'em Loose Bruce, who would just let everyone out. So that's the worrying. I don't want to get but that's the thing we're worrying about today again. So that when the start of this movie, crime has gone up like 800% or 400%. So
400%.
It was 400%.
Made me think of Chicago.
So it was kind of seems realistic that, as we're saying, someone was joking about Soren and Green.
They're giving them the jab.
The jab.
We're almost wishing that they would do this now again. Like we could support this. We could get behind this. Throw a wall around New York City or Chicago or wherever.
They'll be like, throw all the
California
into New York City.
They almost play him right here because that's just like, hey, like we need you to do a shot. He's like, I'm not with all this, but then he does it, and all of a sudden, he feels bait and switched against.
And he's like, you gave me 24 hours. Why is it 23?
Exactly. Dude, I would have bitched them out right there. I'd be like, yo, you need to give me 3 days. Give me 3 fucking days. The time frames on both these movies is ridiculously short. And just like you just said, they started them at 23. Yo, motherfucker, can you start when I land?
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
And what was on the tape that was so earth-shattering that would have brought about world? I guess we don't want to skip that far ahead, but that was
one
the
of
one
my
question.
big.
Let's save that as we go on.
But that's
a topic of endless debate. That one that's fascinating.
Yeah.
The tape.
Yes.
But just the atmosphere in the movie, the special effects, and Pliskin's a badass. This is before you had. Was this out before Rambo? I think this was.
I think it was.
I think so, wasn't it?
Wasn't Rambo's? Well, this was July of '81 because this came out in the summer of '81, and it did great in a budget for its time.
82 for Rambo, I think.
82 for so this may have come before. Okay, so before then. So
roughly filming around about the same time, I would imagine.
Right, yeah.
Maybe a little bit overlap.
So you've got Reagan coming.
That's all tape.
That's awesome,
tape,
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They also invented an awful lot of great different techniques for making it look like the actors were walking amongst what were basically miniatures.
Yes, that's a
all done with forced perspectives and 3 different perspectives. It was actually quite clever when you read about the making of it.
But and then Reagan, of course, gets elected in '80, and then the country starts to turn around. So that's when you get all these '80. Then people felt a lot of patriotic again, and the country was on the kicking ass again. So that's when you see that the movies kind of shift. This is kind of dark, depressing movie, and then then you start getting those overly patriotic movies, the Stallone movies. So, but I thought this holds up really well. It's no problem watching this again. I mean, of course, you can tell some of it's, practical or, but I think it looks great. I mean, it looks really good. I mean,
for the budget, it's incredible.
They did an amazing
I love this scene. This scene still puts me on the edge of suspense where he needs to literally stick the landing, and he comes so close. They're like, oh man,
and those of us who play GTA know how hard it is to land a plane on top of the Maze Tower.
I've tried that before in Flight Simulator, right? Yeah.
You got one chance with a glider. Gliders are shit. That's what killed Randy Rhodes.
But apparently he flew one of those over Leningrad into Leningrad, according to the
accuracy.
Snake flew one of those into Leningrad, as Hawk says to him. Took a Gulfire to Leningrad. That's how he got decorated in the war. So.
Hold up.
Everyone knows him. Oh, hey, Larry K.
Shout out
Hey,
to the Mod King Eric K. What's up, dude? I also saw the wait down and Mock Any Draws. What's up, guys? Nice to see you here. And yes, and dude, the dude Lebowski as well. What's up, dude? Nice to see the dude here as well. Thank you.
Just in respect of the look of this film, it's interesting that one of the assistant directors and also one of the art directors on the movie was a certain James Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh, was James Cameron's the art?
Jim Cameron was one of the ADs and very involved in the art department in this one.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense, right? Yep. Look how cool this looks. This set.
I like the
Just
urban
looks
camo
great,
with the
doesn't it?
cowboy boots.
Right?
Those boots or something else. There's
You
Now,
know-
were those pants too tight for you guys, or what do you think?
No, this is the right amount.
That's why I'm like, how did this costume still fit when it
It's
was
the right amount of
1996?
Russell. It's the right amount of
could
Russell.
have just tightened a little bit here and there.
Hey, you got anything else you want to add,
the
Mark?
ladies love it.
No, that's good. Yeah, just that's my initial. Yeah, just
Okay.
loved it back then, love it now. So yep.
Sir talks a lot. Talk.
I can't tell you when the first time I saw this movie was. I grew up with movies like this. It was kind of like, hey, finished watching Sesame Street, let's watch Commando or Escape from New York. So, yeah, because I was born a few years after this movie came out. And so when I was growing up in the 90s and nobody cared about their kids watching rated R action movies, I took in these movies quite nicely. So I love these. I love it. I love how they cover his background when it's just like a dossier page. They're all like, you're a decorated war hero who robbed the Federal Reserve. Like,
But
go
that's it.
find
We're
the
done with
president.
background then. We're done with
Yeah,
background.
it was like that's your whole backstory. You're a soldier who robbed a bank. Go get the president, motherfucker.
Yeah, 24 hours to do it. And then when he goes, like, and he's like, hold up. But it's already been like an hour and a half or something like that. Whatever. It was already like past his days. Well, you still gotta work within that time. He's just like,
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
By the time he gets out of the damn glider, it's at 20 hours.
So it
Man.
talks a lot. Could you do it? Could you do Isaac Hayes as the Duke? Is that a voice you could do? He had a particular.
I don't
We
know.
all
I'd have to
stopped
hear
it
it
waiting.
first.
We all stopped it. Like, can you do it?
I'm trying to think.
I'd have to hear it first, honestly. Like, fresh in my head. I've heard a lot of voices today. So
You've
Heard a lot of voices in your head today.
They're in your head.
I do have verbal schizophrenia, you know. They all come out my mouth, so I don't have to worry about them cluttering up my mind too
I'm
much.
never
think it
alone
would
with
be
a
a-
schizophrenic.
That's
I think it
right.
would be more
I have my own
difficult to
support
do
group.
Abby.
You have your own support. So one of them must be Frank Lee. Yeah, Frank
Wait,
Lee.
yo.
I'm Frank
Whoa, whoa,
Lee,
whoa,
and
whoa,
this
go
isn't
back to the
your
bottom.
business.
Which one?
Isn't that the crazy guy who jumps out of the closet in Friday 13th?
Probably.
Oh, I don't even know.
I can't remember now. I
That's
was
the
thinking, he
same
looks
guy.
familiar. He looks familiar. I think he's a
He's
character.
currently
I've
the
seen
president
before.
of the United States. This guy.
Ooh, you know, I could see Omega Star's comment here. I could definitely see
Hell yeah,
where
bro.
James, since we're mentioning Cameron being the art director, and there's a little bit of that vibe, that chills vibe in both these movies between the first Terminator and Escape. I'm like, I could totally see that. Except obviously, we don't have the main character being a bad guy. We have the main character in this being a good guy. But so I could definitely, I truly do believe now, looking at this in retrospect, Cameron definitely did get influenced by this movie and say, hey, I gotta apply some of this to my flick. And well, then the rest, as they say, was history. Anything else you want to add, Sir Talks a Lot?
Yeah, the scene that just showed up in this clip where he found the tracking device from the president on the hobo.
Yeah.
I loved that scene where he's all like, they gave it to me. They said I could keep it. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, fuck. I just wasted this trip. How many hours is left? Oh, 19. Well, go grab a beer.
That's right.
I was waiting for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to show up here, Nick.
Right?
Yeah, right. With the sewers, you would think you're like, oh, okay. Oh my God. Well, anything else, Sir Talks, or no?
No.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Well, the last but not least, the man who's waited so ever so patiently, that 70s rock fan.
wasn't that patient. So
Talk.
get a bloody move on. I don't know where I could talk about this movie all night. So you're going to have to stop me when I
Okay,
get too
well,
far. I have a
go-
love affair
go
with
off
this
the deep
movie.
end.
It's
Ooh.
it's in my. It's certainly in my top 10. I mean, it's a fluid top 10. They shift between 1 and 5. And
Hold up.
It's-
Did you just say this is a fluid top 10?
It's very fluid. No,
Very
no,
fluid.
within the top 10.
Your
it's
movie,
fluid.
your movie
So I couldn't
fluid.
say it was number 1,
70s?
but I couldn't say it was number 10 either. And
He
as you
ranks
know,
them
I'm-
based on the amount of fluids he's
That
released
is
while
gender
watching
fluid,
them.
and there wasn't much gender fluid in this until Adrian Barbeau.
Well, here's the
came
first
on
Yeah,
theme
the
of
screen.
that
whoever
bitch
Mad
got
is.
some mullet on her.
So I'm a little bit older than some of you guys. A little bit.
Only
So I saw this at the cinema. It was released in Britain in September 1981, which was
Okay.
again like some of the other movies we've covered, was about 3-4 months later than the US. So I'd heard about it and I knew it was coming. Didn't particularly know. I mean, I'd seen Kurt Russell on a couple of things on TV. I'd seen him in Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, well, Kurt Russell, who cares, But I'd seen Halloween, so seeing Halloween, gave me that John Carpenter. I was excited about that because it was going to be this guy John Carpenter. This guy looks like he's a really great director, and I'm a big sci-fi fan, a big fan of post-apocalyptic or dystopian things, and so the buzz was around. This is going to be a great science fiction movie, about a post sort of a dystopian world. So it wasn't so much about, well, this is going to be a great action movie with this Kurt Russell in it, because Kurt was really nothing particularly to us. I mean, he was known, but and if you'd seen the previous movie before this that he made, the Used Cars, which was made just before this, you would have said, well, there's no way that guy's playing an action hero. He's playing a kind of goofy used car salesman with dancing and whatever, all sorts of stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Used Cars. It's quite funny.
No.
Also has its share of gender fluid in it, because there's some so I was really excited about it, and I was in the military at the time, so a bunch of us guys, we all in the squad, we all used to just go and go to movies, get a few beers, go to the movies. So we were all in there having a blast, came out with that, and I was just absolutely in love with it. I've seen it so many times since. It's unbelievable. And I know, Nick, on your show the other night, I showed this, but in the special edition of the DVD collector's edition, it had things like this Snake Plissken little comic, which was the predecessor of the actual comics.
Let's show that off. Yeah, let's show that off real quick. No, hey, I'm going to show up. Oh, my God.
This is not particular. I mean, this is just the DVD collector's double disc thing. But it came with this. I've forgotten about this until recently.
That looks great.
Look at that. And that illustration is done
awesome.
by a guy who did some Judge Dredd stuff as well. So there's a bit of a pedigree there, but it's just
Hell yeah.
it's so good. And obviously they made the
Snake
series
Plissken
of comics after that. This was just a little giveaway in the DVDs.
Who is the publisher on that? Eclipse, or is it?
This is without my glasses on.
Sorry.
You got me now. Hurricane.
Can I see your ID, sir, please?
It's Hurricane EGE, and the guys there are William O'Neill, Tone Rodriguez, and Chris Blythe, and they have got some record of doing some reasonable stuff since. So
Yeah, it looks good.
so I was just, to me, this is just phenomenal.
Dude. Who did the art on that?
And then there's the game they never made.
The
Because
game
this
they
game
never
got
made.
cancelled, even though they completed development of it. It never got released, and they used a sort of Kurt's voice and his image were in it and everything. But so I'm as I say, I'm in love with this film. One of the things I like about it is that, apart from the fact that it's extremely direct, as we've said. There's no over exposition here going on here. It gets straight to it. This is Snake. He's in this place. He's told to go do this thing, and he does it.
Yeah, you're
yes,
right.
There is the cut scenes where you show how he gets in there, which is in the special editions or whatever, the bank robbery. But
they explain that a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, they he does robs the Federal Reserve, whatever. But they don't overdo that. They just say, "Hey, go do this thing," and he goes there and he meets these people, whatever. So Russell turned out to be perfect for this, Kurt Russell, and it started a a marriage not between him and his first wife, Susan Hubley, who's the girl in the chock full of nuts. In fact, it's his only wife, not his first wife, because he's not married to Goldie. So the girl in the chock full of nuts is Susan Hubley. That's his wife. He got married in real life to her. It's a marriage between him and John Carpenter. And we all know what that produced over the years. So, far more fruitful marriage than the actual one he did coming out of this movie. And there's a great
Toxic.
scene. And look at the eyes.
I don't know why I clipped that scene right there. It was just an accidental.
I'm sure it was purely
I
accidental.
didn't grab anything there.
So Kurt quite rightly wanted to get into being seen as more of a tough actor and an action guy.
It's like the girl. Oh, really?
And that's why people come to Toxic Tuesday.
Hey,
So,
it's
yeah,
strong.
I'm gonna watch
It's not our
something
fault
after
that
this,
it
right?
break.
I must have seen this movie, I don't know, 100 times.
Zoom in and
I'm absolutely
enhance.
in love with it.
I don't have anything to enhance it, but I can zoom in. Yeah, I guess it's sufficiently toxic.
That's what
right?
get
Well,
being
this
married
stream
to
evolved.
Clarify,
John Carpenter gets you.
200%.
Yeah. Don't. That's I was gonna say. Don't go too far.
So
Because,
I have no idea what attracted John
Keep the face and
Carpenter.
titties on there.
What attracted John Carpenter to Adrian Barbeau that they got
Oh,
married? I don't
hey!
get it.
Look at this script
Just
doctor
Catwoman,
here.
yeah.
Adrian Barbeau, great actress and very seductive sounding Catwoman.
That's
All
right. She
The
used to be a
script is
go-go
spoken.
dancer
Well,
before she was an
apparently
actress.
they use because I like with this apocalyptic setting because it looks better than most other movies apocalyptic
Oh, it's
settings,
great.
and it's aged definitely one of the better. And I don't know if it's this for sure, but I think they may have reused the set to some capacity for when the movie Blade
Well,
Runner was
Some
made.
of this, I don't know about this bit, but some of the stuff was filmed in St. Louis, and they used the Fox Theatre in St. Louis to film the theatre scenes. So I'm not sure whether this is part of that or a separate set.
Mhm,
But
mhm. Hold
that
up,
was
hold
certainly-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now
Anyway, Adrian Barbeau, go-go dancer, once upon a time. There was a critic called Joe Briggs, and he referred to her two enormous talents.
Oh, guys, look who's arrived here. The Mad
Hey,
One
Matt.
himself.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello,
Sorry I'm late.
hello.
Hey,
Oh, Matt, let me go back to this picture
Mad's
for you,
arrived
Matt.
just
Just
at the
to-
There's a
Yes.
woman in it. There's a
Howard.
woman in this, Mad.
I'm gonna remove
Sorry.
myself.
Suddenly I want a handy
Did he
Randy.
kick himself out? He kicked himself out.
So just
No.
before I
Is that
over Nick, I just wanted to say that if you've never seen Adrian Barbeau in the masterpiece Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death, then you don't know what you're missing.
Avocado jungle of death.
I mean,
Cannibal Women in the with I can't remember who the other actress is in it. There's another well-known actress. She went on to be a porn star. Anyway,
You got
that's
a
a
nice
great
knife.
movie.
You got a nice knife there.
Oh,
though.
hold up.
Cool knife. Look at that.
Hold up. Mr. Sir Talkslot has to go. Sir, why don't you plug in your channel real quick?
Well, find me on YouTube at Sir Talks-A-Lot. I'll be starting the Talking with Talks-A-Lot live streams next Monday with Nick Weiser at 11 a.m. Central Time, so right around lunch for everybody. And of course, we're talking about something that we both love dearly. Food.
Jesus. Oh,
Yes, food.
Ooh, this is gonna be good. I'll have a pizza
And-
ready.
Well, conversations with me never go normal, so be prepared to have some laughs. Indeed.
Bless you.
Oh my
Thank you.
God, Matt did that on purpose.
what? Sneezed? No, I did not sneeze on purpose.
Oh, who's got Sir Talks a Lot's channel to put in the chat then too? Let's see. Anyone got it handy?
Anyone got it handy? I'll get to it in a minute. No,
That
hey,
is
Talkslot.
you can get to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
Darius, if you're around, please do. Guys, give his channel luck. He is a man of many talents and voices, and he definitely deserves your shot. Every time he puts out his videos of excellence, I do make it a point to watch them. So, and you should all do the same. So,
Yeah, some people say they're fun, so you know, you should probably check them out.
I
Just find out
oblige.
for yourself.
Yes. Well, sir, have a good one. All right. Thank
too.
you.
I'll catch
We'll
you
get
guys
your link
later.
in the chat. All right.
Word. Peace, guys.
Bye.
Hey,
Take
buddy.
care.
All right. Oh, let's try that again. All right. So back to where we are here. So Mad Martigan. While we're scrolling through these photos of excellence, why don't you talk about your rigged fortification and your thoughts on Escape from New York. You get to do both, Mad.
Wait, what was the first thing? My raid and fortification?
You get to talk about the raid fortification of what happened that led to tonight's Toxic Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about hashtag stop the steal? Well, first I gotta say I feel bad. I forgot who it was in the chat, but when I was like, all right, I'm gonna be there soon, they were like, oh no, not him. And I was like, oh well, looks like I'm not gonna be there tonight, guys. Sorry. And then he's like, no, like I was kidding. And then I was like, too late, the damage is done. But then what happened was my girlfriend tried to plug in a plug-in and flipped a breaker and like took out my key lights or whatever. And I was doing that.
Mad, if you looked after her properly, she wouldn't need to use a plug-in. It's your fault.
A Glade plug-in? What are you saying? Like
Nothing.
she doesn't bathe? Is that what you're saying about my girlfriend?
No, I never said anything of the sort. You're just extrapolating.
Yes, because I'm going to avoid what you just said. Anyways, so where was I at? Oh, yeah,
What
this
did I
movie.
say?
Guys, dude, I don't know, man. There's so many great scenes, but like when he's on the helicopter and he's flying by the Hollywood sign and it's on fire, right?
Uh-huh.
And I love his line of "Gotta send a maniac to catch a maniac," and he just jumps down like bungee jumping from the helicopter, and he's like Phoenix, and he lets go of it before he even hits the roof, and he's already shooting people. Whoo! It starts, man. It starts with a bang.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw Demolition Man. Like, I don't think I saw it in the theater, but I remember all like the Taco Bell stuff that happened. Like they had a lot of Taco Bell because Taco Bell was like the only thing that survived. But yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. I'm so glad that it was the one we decided instead of that Escape from New York, which is inferior to Escape to L.A.
I think Mad's movie should be entitled Escape from Sanity.
I mean, guys, Escape from New York doesn't even have a shark. Not one shark.
Not one shark.
No, there's no like 45-minute scene where you watch a middle-aged man shoot basketballs into one goal, then the next, and goes back and forth and never cuts away. There's no epic music. You're just watching him, play a game and pick up.
Well, how cool is the station wagon getting? Was that better than Chuck Norris?
Oh, I love how he backs in and all of a sudden
people
are flying. Oh, I love this scene. He's just and all of a sudden cars go flying and back. My God, that's so toxic. I love it. I want to mention, obviously, Carpenter was attached to this movie, like his other movies, in more ways than one. And one of them also being the music, which the soundtrack he did all the songs for. And there are some, I mentioned earlier how very eerie and haunting a lot of the keys are and the synths and the music. And guys, if you can, like maybe on Discogs or something in the chat, if you're a vinyl collector, apparently the vinyl is pretty accessible. I may be, this is just what I've been told and heard. If you can find it, I highly recommend it. Or if you just want to do CD, whatever, or just digital, whatever. But listen to that soundtrack just off its own merits because it is an amazing soundtrack. I have listened to it a few times in my life, and
that main theme is so insistent and so it just gets right in your brain and just keeps going.
No, it takes you into the element of the movie. You really feel like you're in the movie with this music, and that it does its job. That's what a movie's supposed to do, and it really does enhance the experience of hey, there's Chef. Hello, children.
I knew him as the Duke way before he was Chef. Yep.
How'd you like to
now it's tough. Yeah.
God, I'm gonna make love to
I remember him doing the theme from Shaft. That was more. I remember him from.
By the way, real quick, that part right there that you just passed. That's all did with green string, not screen, string. They laid out the string, to make all these shapes and stuff to make it look like.
It looks great. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does.
It looks like you think it's good. And these graphics are great too. I mean, this looks
By the way, real quick on the music, John Carpenter has always done all his own music. So anything that you hear, but it's just like, it's amazing because like, we talked about this last time, didn't we? Had a John Carpenter with him and his band Ooh, boy, that really stands out now, doesn't it?
Yep.
The shot of those two
You see it
towers
every
just
time.
staring.
It's every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the first time anyone had been able to film from Liberty Island?
Oh wow, they're just begging to be taken down.
Yeah.
It's so weird to see. Like, yeah, rewatch. I'm like, oh
takes
wow, they
everything,
really
Because they took him
stand
out of the
out.
Spider. They took him out of the Spider-Man
Right,
movie.
Yeah, I
before.
remember that trailer because that trailer was like so like 1990s new metal, like Korn, Limp Bizkit sounding. Like I was just like, it was so like out of place the music wise on a Spider-Man trailer. So I was like, okay, but I loved how it looked visually because seeing like the buildings and the webbing attached with the saved helicopter. I was still like, holy crap, this is cool. And yeah, I remember I knew people who had the posters because remember they used to have the Spider-Man on the posters way back in the day with the two towers. I think it was in his eyes, I think, on the poster. And then they pulled those posters from the theater. So if anyone has them, obviously that's a collector's item, if you will. Oh, look at that view. Go ahead.
Real quick, because like we're skipping scenes here that I wanted to comment on. But like, do you know how lucky that dude is that he didn't get shot? That what is it with that Uzi or whatever?
Mhm.
Like, guys, that is not a gun for accuracy. Like,
yes.
yeah, I don't care how big your scope is, Snake. It's not gonna help.
Oh, Clobbering Time stopped by. Hey, Clobbering Time.
Hey,
Clobby.
Clobbering. How's it going, buddy? Nice to see you here in the chat. How you doing, my friend? If you got nothing going on, you are very welcome to shoot me a message. If not, you're welcome to listen in the chat. We're just talking about one of the greatest films of all time, as he said in I Love You, Man. Yeah, how about of all time? Peter Clavin.
The guy getting out of the helicopter is watching. He falls when he's getting out of the helicopter. That guy in the middle there. I didn't clip it, but yeah.
No, you're good. Man.
Here's some scenes for the ladies coming up with Snake.
Oh yes, yeah. So I see Islington, Lasso. Yes, they'll definitely be very satisfied for what they're about to see with the Russell man.
Just exploitation of the male form. The female gaze, it's ridiculous.
Right, the female gaze does not exist. It's just it's a construct. It's not a rough girl as well. Yes, it's just a construct. It's not real. It's not a thing. Well, go ahead, 70s.
No, I was just going to say one of the other things that endears me to Snake is that he is such a great anti-hero. He has no interest in being the hero. He's a true anti-hero. He doesn't even want to be here. The only reason he's here is so he can get out again. He reluctantly does the right thing occasionally, but he is a brilliant anti-hero, and that's just end of the tattoo. Yeah.
That's not a Riddler symbol. It's not a Riddler symbol.
It does look like a Riddler
It seemed to be getting very narrow towards the end there, though.
Hell yeah, it is. But it's real thick at the top, at the tip.
Oh my God. Oh, dude, I love this scene.
Now, you see, this is one of the things that actually is a little weaker in this movie for me because all these two guys do is hit each other with a club.
I know,
like, there's no martial arts or any other
That's
stuff.
the beauty. That's the realism.
Yeah, hey guys, does that dude look like? Oh yeah, I'm gonna spend some time in the karate class. Taekwondo, anyone?
It's gonna like eat you.
Yeah.
Just look at that facial hair job. Like, imagine like walking around with them. Like, yep, this is my look. Like,
He has the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, those eyebrows are bushes too.
It's kind of like that guy. You're just like, hey man, like you don't have to make yourself look cuckoo bananas like this. No. Someone said something to me one time when I was 12.
What do you mean?
When I was 12, and now I'm okay. All right. Well, I'll skip that joke.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Do it.
It was a good one.
Oh lordy.
Look at what a nice, friendly guy.
No, yeah, look at
Come
that.
on over for dinner.
Elegant ambulance. It's Odin.
Should clip that one, yeah.
Isn't that the bicycle shop owner from Different Strokes?
No, not even a little bit. What's wrong with you?
Xenomorph here says, how many movies of this period had an inner city arena scene after this movie? Man.
I
don't-
honestly,
yeah.
The Warriors.
By number, I don't know, but definitely that was definitely I guess you could say a trend back
was
then.
it? Because I can only think of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
The Warriors, which had that kind of scene.
Was that
Yeah.
before this or after this?
I think it was about the same time.
I think the Warriors is a little bit before, but I could be
A
wrong.
little bit before.
I think the Warriors is 70s. I think
Yeah, I think
I
it
could
was
be
Late
wrong.
70s.
late
Yeah.
70s.
like
yeah.
78 or 79.
Have we done the Warriors on Toxic
No.
Tuesday?
We have not.
Ugh, groups
That's a
full
good-ass
of women.
movie.
There's even a pretend woman right there.
Yeah.
Here.
That's very,
Wait.
very mean. Yeah.
There's not a woman on the screen.
That's how he gets away from Michael Myers.
Yeah.
That dude looks like Nick after another 5 years of food.
Hey, we are gonna do Barry Gordy.
dig it.
Barry Gordy presents the Last Dragon before we ever do the Warriors.
Too many
All
women in
right.
the Warriors?
Yeah, have you seen Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon?
I
No.
have not. No.
What?
Ray Gordy, the
No.
Motown guy.
Show enough
Joe
with
Nuff.
Bruce Leroy.
Nah, dude, I haven't seen it.
I don't think I've seen it. No.
I haven't seen it. This movie, so this came out in the summer of '81, and once again, as we mentioned, this was another year where there's just excellent movies on top of excellent movie, and there's a lot of once again, it's like a dream world where you could just be in a year, just 1 year alone, where you have like great movie after great movie after great movie. You had Raiders of the Lost Ark, you had the original Evil Dead. Of course, you got American Werewolf in London, and you got the original Fox and Hound for the Disney types, and then Stripes. I mean, a Bill Murray classic. So I think even Halloween 2, I think, came out this year as well. I think. So yeah, once again, it's just another year where it's just stacked to the deck with flick after flick, and it's just like, yeah, now I see why going to the movies was like such a thing at the time. There's just all these flicks left and right. It's just like, hey, look, we saw this movie, let's go see another movie. And I can see why it could have been like a weekly thing for people. It's just a habit. I mean, with all these killer flicks. Oh, there
Where
is.
did he find his shirt? Where did he find his shirt? I guess was in the crowd.
Yeah, right.
I love the club in the back of the guy's head, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you ended him real quick at the end there.
By the way, you could go back like I've done this a few times. Like compare like 1994 to like 2014. You know.
Yeah.
And you could probably still do it with the 80s too. Like the amount of movies that are still in like are still thought of today, you know what I mean? And referenced and watched and beloved compared to anything that we're seeing on a scale as big as it was back in the 90s and even the 80s. It's ridiculous. Like how bad, how few great movies we've had since like the turn of the century.
Yeah, it's really weird
agree
to
with
see
that,
it like die down, because like there are still ones that come out that are genuinely good, but you're right. Yeah, it is substantial how much less that we've lost so many good ones. And if they try to bring back like an old franchise, usually it's just by an intention to destroy it. And it's just like, oh, so they brought it back simply for nothing because patriarchy. So they need to destroy it. And they want to leave nothing untouched in the wake. Oh my God! Yeah, that's where they finally get out of the crazy city. Like, imagine being in this type of environment, like seeing them, like, man, this actually looks like a legitimately scary environment. And I've lived by the South Side of Chicago, aka Chirac. I've lived by that, and like I see an environment like this, and this feels like what the apocalypse would look like. Bunch of people going nuts and like hiding in their own little spots in specific parts of the town. a big giant wall over certain areas. Like everything about it, like I'm like, they really nailed the feel and the atmosphere of a very authoritarian environment. And look at that gun pose right there. Look at that.
I mean, Kurt Russell's so cool too. Like, and for Halloween, right? He can just pull those pants out of the closet and dress up as a snake again, right?
Well, this is his favorite role, like ever. To my knowledge, this is like his favorite character he's ever played. So
It's
I'm
the character
pretty
that
sure
really
on that.
changed his career completely. I mean, it really redefined him, and I think he had a lot to play. A lot of work went into this from him creating this character from what was on the page.
Oh yeah. Oh my yeah, right. Ella says, I saw the biggest rat cross. You probably did.
That's what
You
I remember
absolutely
about the last time I was in Chicago. The rats on the streets. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's it. That's just another day in Chicago. That's just another day in the Chirac. That's
That's not a cat. That's a rat.
Oh, those things. I tell ya. Ooh, look at that. God,
That map
seriously.
wasn't very accurate, was it?
I know it's a little bit. Yeah.
Go left.
Turn
Wait.
left. Turn right. What,
That's
here?
Well, see, this came from a time where you really need to know maps and roads. Like, you couldn't just rely on, I remember when MapQuest was a big thing. It was like, whoa, this is so revolutionary. And then GPS, whoa. And now it's like, oh, hey, it's on your phone. And GPS's short-term sales were lost once it was all over our phones.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, guess GPS had a good run for its 2 or 3 years, or at least something like that.
Yeah, remember buying those? Yeah. The one thing I liked about this movie too, they added some high, quote unquote high tech stuff like that. The scanner that could measure the president's heart rate, and they had this tracer unit, and it's really tough to predict tech, but they did try to at least make it seem kind of futuristic with the gear that Pliskin had.
Yeah, you're right, and I don't think it was over futuristic either. They didn't try and make it too. I mean, they've not got laser beam weapons or anything like that. It's still good old fashioned guns, so they didn't overdo it.
No,
the only thing they did was they had a lot of giant silencers and scopes on everything.
Yep.
Take care, Omega. Yeah, I want to add to that because, it's really tricky when you want to pull off an environment because you also got to make sure it doesn't look too outlandish because, especially when you're in a period of outlandishness, aka the 80s, it can end up just looking like a futuristic version of like the 80s. Like if the 80s was futurized, I guess you could say. Like it kind of reminds me when I look at like Marvel 2099, like the original runs from the 90s. It looks like it's just the 90s just gone more futurized.
I think they did a good ass job because they actually treated New York like it was a prison. Like they're not getting anything else. They just have what was there.
I think they mentioned that they airlift food in at some point.
Oh,
where they give the demands in the briefcase, where the helicopter lands, the open grassy area. That's where they drop the food off for them every so often.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's mentioned just once, I think, at one little point.
Well, that's a great way to be the leader of the city. He who controls the food drop controls the city.
And there's so much you don't see about the city. You hear certainly certain gang names are mentioned that control different areas.
Yep.
It would have made an awesome game.
Yeah, you really have no idea how that's all going. All you have is what Snake sees from the moment he gets there till he leaves. You don't get the rest of that. So there's so much unexplored territory in this that you could have done other things with, or could in the future have done things with.
Well, he had a pre-Suicide Squad type situation, with the whole, if you better complete this mission, otherwise you're dead type of thing. This was like his Suicide Squad before, the big run that came out in the 80s from Ostrander. So I wonder if Ostrander had, some influence of this movie, since that was quite a many years later after the movie had come out, so that would definitely give him time to take influence from this idea.
That only makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a coincidence too. It's just a parallel that I put together.
But having a MacGuffin like, you're gonna die if you don't get this done in so many hours is nothing new. You can go back way further than that. It's just a different
Well,
iteration
they're
of
both
that
working with the
idea.
government. They're both working with government ideas. You have it ordered by the government, and you get a reduced sentence, like the Squad. So
Or-
I think they may have taken ideas from this movie, is what I'm saying. I'm sure there's some escape
what's-
from New York influence.
What's
I
that
think it's
World War
influential.
II movie? There's that World War II movie, Kelly's Heroes, The Wild Bunch, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They
Kelly's
were the
Heroes is a
Suicide
good-ass
Squad.
movie.
The
Whatever
Dirty
it was.
Dozen.
Dirty
The Dirty Dozen, right? That's
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. That's what
Yeah.
inspired
Oh, by-
Suicide Squad.
By way of a team, sure. I'm just talking about as far as
Well-
just some of the elements here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like they worked for the government. And they were
True.
They were looking for time off by going to do this mission.
That's true. No, you're right. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen the Dozens.
They were all
Now this
criminals,
scene, this
too,
scene
so they
drove
have
me
that
crazy,
as
guys,
well.
with the
Yeah, the
explosion.
Dirty Dozen were all criminals. Yeah.
But they didn't do the neck blow up thing because they couldn't do that back in the what was that, the late 40s? They made that, or late
Yeah.
50s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Dirty
Yeah.
Dozen was later than that, wasn't it? I thought that was the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, I think
Is
no, that's
it
76
that
though,
old?
for sure.
Is it that much later?
Yeah.
I always thought that movie was way older.
No, I think it's Dirty Dozen's. I thought it was late 60s, early 70s.
I always assumed I was
Could be
just
wrong.
watching a colorized version.
But look
Oh.
at this while we're showing this. Yeah, look at the car.
1967, the Dirty
Yeah.
Dozen.
Car splits in half perfect. The cab he
Funnily
splits
enough-
in half perfectly, right? It's
Yeah,
like how the
Ernest
hell does it-
Borgnine was in it as well. Sorry, Mark.
No, that's okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nobody
Borgnine
lost
was
their
in
heads
that,
or
yeah, yeah.
nothing.
Dirty
Borgnine was in the
Dozen,
Dirty Dozen.
68.
67.
Clobberin says late 60s. The Angry
68
Game
is,
says
68
67.
is really old. I mean, God, that's old. 68.
Pardon?
It is.
I beg your pardon.
God, I wouldn't want to be born in 1968. God, that's old.
Some of us were born before that.
Are there people? Are there still people alive that were born in 68? That doesn't seem
Yes.
possible.
Yes, Slash.
Yes, we are, but we can't really speak or walk much anymore, and we have to be fair.
We're just on the computer. That's it. We can press keyboard buttons. That's about
Just
it.
Yeah,
a just a
with the
drain on our economy. That's what they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
See this bridge production note. They bought this bridge from the city of St. Louis for $1, filmed this, and then sold it back to them for $1 for liability purposes. The city didn't want to be liable for any injuries or anything, so they had to buy it. But they bought it for $1 and sold it back for $1. So
I'm assuming it wasn't a functioning bridge. Was it a bridge that was in use, or was it just like an abandoned bridge?
it was pretty much, yeah, it might have been used for pedestrian purposes, but it wasn't really
Okay, yeah.
wasn't being used for anything else. Yeah, but they didn't want to risk the city being sued for any injuries because there was
Yeah.
explosions, and all sorts going on in the production. So.
I know. Do you guys see this movie as more of like an action movie or sci-fi, or do you see it as like a blend of the two? Because there is some like sci-fi-ish element with the advancedness of the world, but it's like advanced, but yet it's dystopian. But obviously, there's action going on, so no action movie. So where do you think that late 70s? What do you think?
Well, at first, I very, very much saw it as a science fiction movie, but over the years, I've kind of moved away from that a little bit. Yes, it's set in a alternative future, but to me, it's a little bit more of an action thriller now. Just happens to be set in the future. There's sci-fi elements to it, but I think it's
Look
a
at that
blend
cell
of them
phone.
all. It's a
Check out that-
blend of all of those
Yeah,
things.
look at the size of that motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
It's very much its own thing.
Is that a motorcycle seat?
What do you think, Mad One? What do you think?
About what
Where's-
that cell phone? That
Is that
What do you think
Shaquille
about that
O'Neal's
too?
shoe?
my dad had one that came in a bag, like you could carry it around.
Was
he would
he
plug it up in the
comms
car?
officer?
My dad? No,
No, I was joking.
No, we were just talking
no,
about
he was
like
not a comms officer.
okay.
That's definitive. Yeah.
Because the cell phone is so big.
Yeah, it was a bag. Yeah, he was
know
a
what I-
civilian.
Yeah, but
He was not in comms.
No, what I never understood how did a car phone work back in the day? Did
You plug it
You
up?
had it. You had it in
So
your
what?
car. I'm old enough because I was
Yeah.
born in '68, so you
I
had
used
it
to install those.
in Motorola in the car, and it was actually they would mount it to like the base of your car. They'd drill like this holder in, and you had
Mhm.
like your big. I still have one. I didn't throw it out. and you had like the cell phone was just in your car, and that's the only place you could use it. And then later it was like a big advancement, like they had the bag, whatever you could take out of your car,
Yep.
and like plug it in your house.
Oh,
with the cell
were
phone.
you in comms?
How big was that?
Were you in comms?
I was not in comms.
I was in
Actually, I do
comms.
have- let me grab my original Motorola phone here.
I
No.
was in the cell phone business in the late 80s, early 90s. We had the Panasonics that were in a big green case, like literally a suitcase. And then we got the Motorola brick, and then the ones that Mark was talking about, you fitted in the car, and you had to put the aerial in the car. Took you about 3 hours to fit those. And,
My dad had one in his Bronco. It just looks like a receiver that you would see as a house, and he had like a speaker up above him and stuff, you know.
Nick, if you want to blow me up for 1 second.
Yeah, no, let's do that, dude.
I have
It's a
this on
flip.
my
Yeah.
This is the flip. So look how
Dude.
fat this was. This was
Yeah.
the extended life battery. that had-
I
Extended
used to sell those,
life.
Mark.
Yeah,
I
you
used
get
to
an hour
sell
and a
those.
half, and you could pop the battery.
Oh.
The battery. Look, you could actually change if I can get the damn thing off. But the battery would slide off the back, so you'd buy extra battery packs.
But you
So
could
you
take the
could charge
batteries
it
and
like a
put them in.
screw gun.
You
Yeah,
had
so you could
battery reconditioning machines. You could put those in, and it would do extended discharges and charges to repair them.
And look at the display; it's 9-character LED display.
9 character.
Anyone want to call my old number? Sorry, I shouldn't put that on. I had some old Motorola.
What?
And look at the antenna. Look for extended
Oh,
range.
shit. Fancy.
You're
Guys.
rocking with this thing, and it looked
Guys,
worked
someone
good.
call Mark.
These were great. The Motorolas were fantastic.
What's
Plus,
the
if
number
they
there?
ever tried to mug you, you could just jack him in the head with that.
All
But
right.
it was a big deal buying this. Remember going to Crazy Eddie's and buy these in the New York area, and Christmas was like the big gift for your girlfriend or your wife, like
Motorola
cell phone.
phone.
What were those? What were those ones before that were like a foot tall?
Well, that was the original ones. Like, I remember the first guy I saw with a mobile phone was he was dating a friend of mine in college, and he's a comedian, and he called me, and he's like, look out the window, and he had a nickname for. He called me Grey Poupon, but that's another story. So he's looking. He's like, I'm outside, and I'm like, what the fuck you mean you're outside, Earl? What do you mean you're outside? He's like, look out the window. I'm like, he had a red convertible Corvette. He was doing pretty well as a comedian. Like, how are you calling me from the car? He's like, come out here and take a look at this. And I'm like, holy shit, there's a cell phone, and there's a phone in here. I didn't even know what a cell phone was. Like, there's a phone in your car.
The problem then was there wasn't very many cell towers, so
Yeah, but it worked. Yeah. So this was so I kept that. Yep.
Dude, that's so old time. I
Dating
love
myself.
it. Nah, dude, it's all good, man. God. Yeah, and Islington Girl, yes, I know a rotating comic. Yes, for those who do not know, the president is Loomis from the Halloween movies. I thought I said it in the beginning, but yes, that's Loomis. So between that, and you got Chef from South Park, and you got the all-time Kurt Russell greatness, and then you got the toxicness of God, I've already forgotten it. We'll just say the one Matt doesn't want to speak of. we'll say it.
But she went out. She went out well though. Firing that gun and trying to save everyone. So
Did she die?
She died.
She
Yeah,
did.
I didn't clip it because it would have been. It was really actually the most graphic scene in.
Did-
it was. There was
It's funny
horror in
though.
that one.
Right before that, she fires the gun and she's like giving her a little clip, but she never closed her eye to look down the scope before she
Yeah,
took
here's
the
the-
shot.
Well, I mean, you don't close both your eyes though.
Not both your eyes. She should have closed her fucking left eye.
I mean, sorry, no. You leave them
Or
open,
one
man.
eye.
No, you leave them open.
You have to close one eye to look down the scope.
No, you do not.
Okay.
I wouldn't
for
know.
a fact.
I wouldn't know.
But
Well,
yeah,
at
the
least there
more
wasn't
she
a-
gets
at least there
splattered
wasn't
here
a-
is kind of a little bit gore. in the
Just
movie.
so you know, for the future, you always want to shoot with your dominant eye.
Yes.
Yes.
So
least-
which eye is more dominant than for
she's
Forrest
shooting.
Whitaker? Is his lazy eye the dominant one?
You
Yeah.
can shoot 2 sniper rifles at once.
You also want to shoot with your dominant hand.
Hey, if you've
Dominant.
ever played that, what's that game, Wolfenstein, With the double, you can dual wield sniper rifles in that. I always thought that was quite funny.
That's bizarre.
It is.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
You could do it.
You know what?
Thanks
If
for that,
you're
Waco.
up close, I guess.
Maybe. No, oh my God, Station 19 this wall. Oh yeah. Talk about, of course. Imagine what. So, would you feel like the stakes would have been as high if like he had gone away and there was still like 10 minutes to spare? Like it would have been the most stake-plus in theory. See, look at it. I had it down all along. There's still 10 minutes left. Just by say like,
Could have dawdled a bit, chatted for a while.
oh God, the weight down here. Toxic Tuesday pro tip. In combat, your chances of success improve by 100% if you don't die. Well, yeah, that's true. Thanks, White Down. I
can
see JM
confirm.
Cruz in the chat. What's up, dude? Oh, my God. Oh,
Chef
Chef.
is trying to escape.
So the Duke here, there's suggestions that maybe it was in some of the comics that the Duke was actually a former president who's been incarcerated in here by the current regime.
Like
Oh,
a
that's
theory?
interesting.
That's a theory, yeah.
Oh,
That they put
okay.
him in there because there was a coup or whatever. Obviously they're an authoritarian government, and he's been put in here. But he was a president. He was the president himself at one point.
And the
Oh.
president goes
Theory.
toxic here. Maybe that's why he takes the Duke out right here.
Possibly.
Yeah, and he's laughing about it, and he's all tough guy all of a sudden.
I know.
Yeah. Oh,
him the
come
good
on.
Hey, Blofeld would never
Ah!
have done this. Blofeld would never have done this.
No one's gonna get him in trouble for killing that guy, so he might as well have his fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
right.
thing is, why does he have to stop Snake being pulled up just to do that?
Yeah.
He could have let him get pulled up to shoot the Duke. He didn't have to stop him.
If
Good
only,
point.
if only, like in the Metal Gear games, if like Snake were to have gotten hurt, someone would be like, "Snake, Snake!" Like in the Metal Gear games,
Yeah,
whenever South Snake would lose his life, Snake.
Do y'all remember in Con Air, another great movie we didn't watch, where
Never heard of it.
Cyrus the virus is about to kill someone, and the guy's like, "Cy," and he goes, "Nara."
That's
And
right. Don't move or the bunny gets it.
Oh my God, man, he gets poked twice in this.
He's getting the anti-jab here.
Oh shit, Handy Randy's here. Is that the
Yeah.
bounty hunter?
It is. Lee Van
Yeah.
Cleef.
I bet he got poked a lot more in prison. Sorry.
This did revive Lee Van Cleef's career quite a bit. You know that he was a decorated war hero.
Was
So
it?
was
Oh.
Donald Pleasance, the World War II. Lee Van
Yeah.
Cleef was a naval vet, and Donald Pleasance was an Air Force vet who was shot down over Germany and went to Stalag Luft 1 and spent several years there as a prisoner of war.
Damn.
Never knew
Oh,
that.
yeah. Got a lot of time for those guys.
Yep, a lot of respect for that, my guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
They
must
both
be
did their
ridiculously
time.
difficult.
You know what's interesting is like at the time for Carpenter, I think this movie is like around like 6 or 7 million for him to make, and for him that was like huge for him. That's like today's equivalent of like a Marvel movie doing a $200 million flick. For him, this was like the biggest thing to spend 6-7 million on a movie. It's like I would like to see what happened if like we had more movies. Because obviously, like Joker spent I guess you could say less money than most modern movies nowadays.
Yeah.
I would like to see how well I truly do believe if given the right people, personnel involved, Hollywood could work good movies in a small budget. Maybe that could be too much of an optimist in me speaking, but I feel like, and that's why I have to emphasize the right personnel. You could still make something good. It's just instead of just throwing money all away at CGI that barely looks like it's being used. Look at you, Wonder Woman 84.
Yep.
Like it would be, and see just all the time, and instead of these like set pieces where they end up just looking like really bad CG, go to actual locations like this. And Age has been, man, it still looks super scary and dark, still looks dystopian. Obviously, like when they show like the video screens, they're like, okay, that's the A's product of its time. You got some people with the hairstyles of the A's, but other than that, it still looks like it holds up, like as far as like a dark dystopian future. And this is obviously supposed to be 97, coming from an 81 flick. So yeah,
I seen towns that looked like that last year.
I bet you have. I know there's areas in the States that do, sadly, and I see STX Rob Star here says movies were produced, written, and acted by people who had done some shit. The lack of real experience really shows in most modern movies. I mean, yeah, that's definitely something that adds to it. No, it's a very good point, Rob Star. Appreciate that insightful comment. Yeah, it's sad that we don't have that. And it almost, they see a lot of them try they gotta become a character, but now they want the character to just be them. So it's self-inserts galore and about the message, as the drinker would like to say.
And Rob Star's got a great quote there in the chat. Is the glider intact? Snake Plissken. Yeah, but taking off is for shit. I'll work it out. That was a great line.
That's right.
That was a good
Oh,
line.
we've not even touched the great one-liners yet.
See, we could talk about something. It's just I look back at this time, and I'll shut up for a bit so I can let you guys have it. I don't see Tommy Lee Jones being Snake Plissken. I don't at all.
No, not 1 minute. Totally wrong.
No, and that's not to be disrespectful or a disservice. It's just it doesn't line up. I see this Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken. I'm like, this guy is made for this character.
He's much cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's what he is. He has that cool badass personal sorry, wrong words there. Badass persona, and that just doesn't suit Tommy Lee Jones as well. He's more of the villain he was in what's that movie that we did Toxic Tuesday? Under Siege. Thank you. Yeah. And there you go, Xenomorph. Thank you guys. I'm losing my words there. Sorry, I've been going since 4 a.m. this morning. So
yeah,
Tommy Lee
Under
Jones is a
Siege,
brilliant,
quite over the top.
Pleasant, such a joy in 70s horror movies.
So we're coming up to one of the greatest lines.
Which one? Yes, have at it.
Hawk said, "You gonna kill me, Snake? Not now. I'm too tired. Maybe later. Maybe later. I'm too tired. Maybe later."
Yeah, he wants to work with him. Yep.
And then he goes, "We'd make one hell of a team, Snake." And he goes, "The name's Plissken."
Yep.
For the first time, he says the name's Plissken, not Snake. Yeah.
He has his certain people. He says, "You call me Plissken. You call me Snake." He has that whole feel about it.
He changes his mind at the end with Hawk because he got him to call him Snake before the name's Plissken.
I like Plissken. Plissken, what are you doing? Playing with myself. I'm going in.
That's right, playing with
Yeah, it was a great
Oh
line.
god, it's hilarious.
Oh,
We're about to get to the real MacGuffin of the movie.
Yeah.
The real MacGuffin.
And the president turns
Tape.
into a real
And Mark
a-hole,
mentioned
right?
the tape earlier. It's the
Yep,
tape.
we can talk about that now, probably, right?
Yeah, we're getting to the tape.
dude, yes. Because this is a great ending. I love this ending.
Look at that boombox, yeah.
Dude. This is before JVC.
We can't play the music, unfortunately, but it's the music from Cat. What was it? It was a swing tune, or it was Miller or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
a jazz, big band jazz thing.
Big bag, yep.
Can't remember the name of the particular.
She's like, "Fuck your launch codes."
That's right.
Yeah, right?
But this shows the anti-hero because he has a chance to theoretically stop whatever war this is that's going on, and he decides to say "fuck you," and he rips the real tape up because that was supposed to stop the war, or whatever it was.
Yeah, and why didn't they play the tape first to see what was on it, like before the president put it in?
And why does he need a tape? I mean,
what was on the tape? So what do you guys think? They played a few seconds of the tape. They played a few seconds of it in
so what's on the tape?
In the cab.
There's two clues. One is when Hawk says to him, "Do you know anything about nuclear fission or fusion?"
Fusion, yep.
Fusion, and then he says at the end, you hear the few seconds of it, with some guy reciting radioactive elements.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the car or wherever you hear that. That's it.
So you think it was a secret to nuclear fusion on the tape that they would have shared with the world?
Possibly that's what it is.
So
But then,
everyone could have a Mr. Fusion in their house.
but the bit that bugs people is, why would you need a tape to do that? Why couldn't the president just read that off a script?
Yeah,
I don't
unless there's
know.
something secret on
It's a
there.
giant plot hole. That's why.
It's a MacGuffin. The tape is a MacGuffin.
It's still awesome.
This thing. Oh, it's great though. Yeah.
All right,
And
guys,
it's
hold
still
on.
Awesome that he pulled the same exact shit in the second movie, and they didn't even see it coming.
Oh shit! What's up, Yeti? Nice
Hell,
to
Yeti
see you
Chris.
here.
Boo.
And I got
Andy Rand.
the
That's
wait
Andy.
down for $2 says it's not a pizza, but it might get you some pepperoni. Well, thank you for the $2, Mr. Wait Down. I appreciate that. Hopefully you enjoy seeing Thanos punch Captain Marvel. It's always a glorious video to watch every single time.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think you're right though when you say it, Mark. You said it's an offer of perhaps it's an offer of unlimited free energy to the
Yeah.
world.
Nerdporial here. Call me Nerdporial.
But you're
But
right. Yeah,
then-
why would it have to be on a tape though? Yeah, if a scientist
indeed.
discovered it, it would be he'd have notes or it'd be written down.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
you could
there'd be
spend
a lot of
multiple
paperwork
tapes.
to go with this.
Yeah, or the president could just say, "Hey, we've discovered nuclear fusion, unlimited free energy. That's what I'm going to the talks for. We can end this war, and the world will be great." Why do you need a tape?
I think the lesson here is, hey, I have a backup. Like, back that shit up. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Put it in the cloud.
Yeah. If he had the president had one of my boom boxes, he could have just copied that tape real easy. So yeah,
Well,
that's
you
the
didn't have
weak.
the
Also-
spring for the dual cassette deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Also,
was the weak point of the movie.
maybe we shouldn't rely upon cassettes for our national secrets. You know?
Maybe it was a cassette tape of I don't know, the Russian guy who from the time, whoever it was, I don't remember.
Nikola.
Tesla.
No,
Doing something bad.
cassettes didn't come out until like.
But Tesla might have invented them and just.
That's a good point.
No, not Tesla. I'm talking about like another leader. Maybe it was like him doing something gay.
Could be.
Yeah, the funny thing is, it's supposed to be in the future, and they still got cassette tapes. So
But
it's,
somewhere watching that,
They didn't
watching
see
the
CDs coming. And then they didn't see the lack of any kind of media coming.
yeah.
just
We want-
imagine that in this movie world of the Escape from New York, there's a scientist watching the president there and going, "God damn it, they've lost my tape. All my research is now gone, and I've lost the secret completely."
Oh yeah, right. I never wrote that shit down.
Never wrote that shit down.
Yeah.
If they made one of these movies today, it would be funny because like he would just hit send and be like, it just doesn't have the same satisfaction.
I don't think the futuristicness of it would look as good. You wouldn't have the cool badass with the one-liners. You wouldn't have the ultra alpha-ness of it all as well. And of course, it would definitely have to be a gender swap character, and she would get everything done in like 2 hours, and there'd be like 22 hours left to go.
That's a hyperbole. Like, that's hyperbolic because look at Boss Level on Hulu. That was a great movie about a
That was a
dude
good
just
movie.
killing shit.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've not
and he
seen
has
that.
his MacGuffin. You know,
All right.
The one thing about this scene I thought was interesting too. I think Snake was talking to him to see how the president react. Like, how do you feel about the
Yeah.
people that sacrifice their lives, and he's just being a dick
Dick.
politician, and he's like back to being an a-hole. So he was a coward most of the time too in the whole movie. And then when he's got the gun, he's got the upper hand. Then he's got his swagger, and he's yelling at making fun of
Yeah.
Duke. But then when it comes down to it, he's like just another jerk. So Pliskin's like, "F you, you're not getting
Keep
the
your
maybe
war. Yeah.
maybe like at this point he would have given him the tape if he'd gave him a good answer, but he was
But that's why it's the ultimate fuck you by Pliskin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I might end a world war here, but fuck you.
even though the tape part, the tape is a stupid MacGuffin, but it's the scene is played out really well.
It needs it. Yeah, it needs it.
Yeah.
well,
Oh yeah.
So I don't think that you could get that same impact because, like, if you look at it this time, we had just got out of Vietnam, and there was a lot of resentment not only towards the government but towards war in of itself,
Yep.
and also just to society. So that's why you get this. That's why it plays so well. You have this guy that's like, you know what? I don't even care to save this place because
Yep.
you know, what am I saving? But more tragedy for everyone. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the world's a screwed up place, and I'm not going to be part of it. And
yep.
Yeah, you didn't get it. You didn't get a TV series with Pliskin working with the guy. You know, it's like he's like, "F you, I'm not."
You know,
not
they were
helping
going to
you.
blow up his head like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's like screw you guys. Yeah,
That's right. He doesn't give a shit about their war or whatever. Yeah, he's out.
Wait down,
that
that is a badge of honor. I like
Is it
having.
downvote?
I gotta have one. No, I stand by my downvote. Whoever you are, thank you for the downvote. I appreciate you. You are awesome.
Yep.
You know,
thank you for not knowing that it's the same as an upvote.
And we are going to find you. We are going to hunt you down.
We're going to send Snake Plissken to get you.
That was maybe that was the Duke giving us a downvote because he didn't like how the movie ended.
Maybe it's what Joker's saying. You got what you fucking deserve. No, okay.
Like, what's his name in the Last of the Mohicans? I will find you.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis. What an actor. I love Daniel Day-Lewis.
Man, the score for that movie is so freaking good, dude.
Agreed. Agreed.
Oh, and Rob says, "Gonna thanks for putting all those good quotes in by Snake." Yeah. One question: which one of you assholes gets to die trying to stick me? Yeah, Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Where did you see this?
That's at 11:48.
11:48. Okay. I'm trying to see. Oh, it's not on my. Are you gonna kill me, Snake? I'm tired. Maybe. Miguel. Yeah. No. I once again. Besides, obviously the facial likeness, I definitely also like the alpha mentality, but also you got the environment of like a very scary, government, world going on, and then Metal Gear Solid and government were very intertwined with each other. Yeah, I'm sure Hideo Kojima definitely was like, hey, I like this, I like that, I like that too. I'll take that for influence.
He was Norwegian.
No, Hideo Kojima?
Yeah,
I think he's Korean or something. I'm just
kidding.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Oh,
Y'all never let me do my racist accents.
I'm still waiting to hear your 12-year-old joke.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking, wouldn't they have put a tracker in him?
That would have been thinking smart when the movie ends.
Did they have trackers back then?
Yeah,
they had one on the president pod.
But I guess he's gonna die. But they kind of explain that. Though they say when the guy says, "Oh, you instead of turning around the glider, it's like you're gonna die if you don't come back here in now 23 hours." So at that point, I guess they don't care what he does, right? Because his head's gonna blow up. So
I still don't like how much they screwed him on the time.
Yeah,
I know.
It's like they always screw you in the drive-thru, right? They screw you.
Well, it's like in God, which was in Die Hard 2, where they leave the subways. It's like, hold up, wait, we got to turn back because that's when they mess up the food because you have to drive. You've already gone too far, so you can't turn back. There's always never enough time. That's the moral of the story here with all these things. There's never enough time. Well, guys, Mr. Med Martigan. Where do you rank this in toxicity and in greatness and in handy randies?
Handy randies, I guess, is 0.
0 handies. You hear that, guys?
Toxicity, 3.
3. Okay. And where do you get the 3 points from?
Because I didn't want to give it 0.
What? You might as well should just give it a 0.
And as far as how great it is guys, I never like every movie we've done has been at least a 9.1.
Oh God,
this is a solid 6.5.
Woo!
Wow.
Oh,
you've never seen a solid 6.5, Mad.
No, you're right. It's always been bigger. Anyways,
it did say it was
where
a 9.1.
are you seeing all of these?
On the internet.
On the internet.
Look, yeah, I mean the movie's all right. Like you guess, and I do like John Carpenter for the most part, but I mean it just I get it.
Handy Randy's mad at you.
Yeah. I don't know why. What did I do?
I gave him a zero Handy Randys on the movie.
Honestly, I'm just disappointed in the people that watched your channel, Nick.
Yeah.
Because like how this won over Con Air and Demolition Man. Look, say what you will about this movie, but those two are on an entirely different level. They are immaculate. They are great.
You know,
And
the
they're
only
great.
place anyone might even be able to view a gun is in a museum.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I my favorite part though is in the museum when he sees like, by the way, it was all improv. No one told him to do this, but they had like the class and he goes, tinka, tinka, ding. It's like, what? This is insane, man.
Oh, okay. All right. Mark,
I mean, think about it. Like, one thing. Hold on, real quick.
No,
This is the last
go
thing I'm
ahead.
gonna do. Think about it, right? Sylvester Stallone finds this psycho killer, right, to take him to jail. But the dude blows up. Phoenix blows up the building, and the cops are like, "Oh, we found bodies." And Phoenix is like, I told him they were there. He said he didn't care. He said he didn't care. That's witness testimony. Send him to ice jail. Like that's, and then they're like, "Yeah, Phoenix, you make a great point. We should send him to jail for the rest of his life." That's how it starts. It starts like most movies end, but better. This movie starts and it's great. It ends and it's great. And I'm just work on it the whole time. But anyway,
Clobbering. Oh.
but yeah, no, this is good.
But this is good. Is it because your 3 a.m. ballot dump didn't work out?
My 3 a.m. would? Oh, dude,
Ballot
listen. I've researched how to hack polls on YouTube for maybe 12 hours. Like
And how'd that research go?
it was all in zeros and ones. I could not make heads nor tail of it.
Stuck in the Matrix.
Yeah, watching videos explaining binary makes me feel like I'm a fucking moron.
Oh my god. All right, man.
They're like, and 0 and 0 and 0 and 1 means it's a fucking 7. And I'm like, why?
That's the binards from Star Trek Next Generation. Yeah, you're not gonna make us give us a review in binary, are you?
Wait down. That
Jesse
perfectly
Miller.
timed. That would be Mr. Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest, who's usually on Mead. He's on there, Midnight's Edge, After Dark, and I'll let Mr. Jesse
Yeah, me
rate
is
his
currently
score.
under strike.
Strike still? Dude,
Yeah,
that's
2
some
weeks.
bullshit. All 2 weeks. Oh, it's always at 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, guys. The greatest lie ever. Just 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Now give your 0 to 4-year-olds this jib.
Yeah, and
Don't mind all those dogs. They were very bad dogs.
Hey,
So-
Yeti. Hey, Yeti. Why don't you do a little proofreading before you try to make a joke? Too late. You ruined it the first time.
Look, Clobbering's got a good old score here. So this film is a solid 10. Clobbering spoken. Jesse, where do you rate this in Handy Randy's?
Well,
Yes, it
you know
is.
what? Handy Randy's. I'm going to give it 4 Handy Randy's. And I'll tell you
Woo!
why. Because of gunplay would have
Okay.
been impossible if it was Handy Randy. Also, there's the climbing of the rope. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty handy.
Yep.
All right, toxicity. Where do you stand on toxicity?
Randy's.
I just say maybe like a 7.
Okay.
I mean, it's got like, you know, there's a couple of raunchy jokes, but you know, there's no titties. They ain't really blowing
Thank God.
anybody's brains out.
Don't know what you call those things in front of Adrian Barbeau then.
Yeah, but they're covered up, and she's got
They-
man face.
Should have been more covered up. Like, was I the only one? Like, put on some clothes, woman. Walking around in that.
Cold there, wasn't it, man?
Yeah, not to mention it was cold.
Yeah.
The only titties you saw were through Ernest Borgnine's cold shirt.
No,
Oh my god.
disgusting.
Oh, I love it. Where do you rate this then in greatness, Jesse?
In greatness, it's actually pretty damn good. I'm a dystopian future fan, so
All right.
it's fairly solid overall. I'm gonna have to give it like an 8.5. How about that? That sounds good. That
All
sounds
right.
like the Olympic thing.
All right.
Sorry.
8.5 it is. I don't even.
Look, Matt, just give it like 3 years. Give it 3 years, and they're just gonna be like, you know what? Maybe we should just put a wall around New York.
They should.
Maybe it
This
is
one
good
cracked
having
me up.
small. Wait, that's why it's so good having small hands. Maybe that's
Well,
an
one.
advantage. Yeah.
How is that an advantage?
Well, because the B cups are like D cups, right? That's what Andy Randy is saying.
He's got something large and black in his hands as usual.
I guess it's easier to get your fist in there.
Yeah, but well, I mean, because that's all you have is like this.
Disease.
right. That's Mark. Mark.
Okay. Handy Randy's. I agree with Jesse at 4 because you got that Mac 10. You got all small weapons there, right? So you didn't need. There was no M60 machine gun or sniper rifles. So I guess Handy Randy could have handled those.
You had a sniper Mac 10.
Yeah, the Mac 10. Yeah.
The fight in the ring would have been a lot funnier with Andy Randy.
Toxicity, yeah. This movie, yeah, I guess around a 7. Toxic. You got some good FU scenes in it, and you got the New York is just like a whole toxic environment, and just the crowd there, those rat creatures that came out of the sewers, and I mean it's just the dystopian future there. It's hopefully we'll never end up like that, but that was pretty
3 years,
and the atmosphere in the movie is great. I mean the sets are great, all the practical effects, Cabby's great. I love that old the old classic checker cab you got, and Ernest Borgnine's awesome, and Pliskin is just such a great character to watch. He's not like over the top. He's just like he's subtle. It's just like that last line, like you said, is like, I'd kill you now, but I'm too tired. It's just like great shit like that, where it's it's toxic, but it's not like over the top, like yelling at you. It's just he gets shit done. So it's that's fun. Yeah, I give this an overall rating like a 9.3, let's say.
9.3.
It holds
All
up.
right.
You can watch it, and it effects are good. And I watched it again tonight and just love the movie. And then Adrian Barbeau too. I mean, I know Mad's not a fan, but God, she adds good character to some good.
She
good,
gets
scenes.
spider senses
And then she
tingling.
she goes out. She goes out. Protecting her man, trying to get revenge for her man, right? So I mean, she doesn't just run off the bridge and try to find get away. She's like, I'm going to try to take this bastard out. So
that's an interesting point, Mark, because the Duke, she said, or the Duke said, I gave you to Brains.
Yeah,
but she actually loved him.
She fell in love with him.
She wasn't there because she didn't. She was there because she wanted to be with Brains. It's just a good, nice.
She fell in love with the nerd. Yeah, the smart, nerdy guy.
Yeah.
See, so that was another toxic thing too, right? The nerd got the girl, right? So, and then, but of course, it didn't end well for her. But yeah, and then we got the sequels too, but we had to wait a while for those. But yeah, so this is a character that's a great character. So yeah. If you haven't watched, I saw a couple of people in the chat said they haven't watched it. Watch it again. Of course. Mad probably doesn't want anyone to watch this. He wants to
watch Escape from LA. Has a shark.
It has a shark.
There's a shark. Disease.
Thumbs up for me.
Catch the replay, my friend. It's been a fun one. I assure you, it's worth it. And Angry Gamer here says, I didn't know that Adrian Barbeau was married to John.
This film was an incestuous film because there was that relationship. There was the fact that Kurt met his first wife, Susan Hubley, and the producer, Larry Franco, was married to Kurt Russell's sister. So this was just one big incest fest.
Yeah, so Susan Hubley is credited in the credits as girl and chock full of nuts.
Full of nuts. I don't know where you're doing the cast. You don't even have a name. Yeah. You have no character name.
Yeah.
She was chock full of nuts, apparently.
I just like backhand.
Hey, Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. All right, well, 70s. Why don't you tell us about your scores from handies to greatness?
Handies. Well, I think I'd agree with the others. I probably would only give it like a 4 handies maximum. But However, I would also give it a very large cock in the grass. I think it deserves that.
I gotta tell that. Did I tell that story? Yeah, I did. Right? What? I don't know. Remember where I told it.
I
But
don't know
told
which stream it was on, but you certainly told it.
I'm a little tired today.
Yeah, toxicity. I think I would only give it a maybe a 7 or 7.5, and that's largely because of Snake. I think this Snake's attitude, don't give a damn attitude, is brilliant, and of course he is a toxic white straight male. Well, we assume he's straight. They don't actually make that very clear in the movie, do they? There's not very much the representation there.
So we need to know who he's shipping with, is what you're saying.
Yes, we need a shipping section. But in terms of greatness, it's a 10. It's a stone cold classic by a brilliant director.
And Disease is he wants off of a coke in the grass. You said, or he's not sure.
Yeah, something like that.
But Carpenter and I forgot he'd made the Great Dark Star, which I'd seen before this, so I knew he was a good sci-fi director. Dark Star's brilliant if you've ever seen it. Great movie. 10, classic.
All right, the man that's spoken. Awesome. I'll be a little quicker for you guys. I'm gonna give this 2.5 handies. So it deserves a little yanking, but it kind of like doesn't need all the yanking. So sometimes you gotta some get less hands than others, and that's what this is gonna get. Just a few, just some nibbles. And toxicity, I'm gonna go with 7.5 because of the alphaness of the Snake Plissken personality. Like, he turned that shit to 11. Come on, are we not gonna address how naturally toxic he was? Like, I'm just saying, like, that I feel is like the glosser thing.
But he still seems like a real person.
Yeah, he's believable. He's a believable character.
What?
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, hold on. He has only one eye. His depth perception would be so bad. Like, his ability to fight these guys off is ridiculous.
He shot that basketball pretty good.
Yeah, with one eye.
Yeah, he's good. Because he's go like that.
Nobody would have that tattoo on their stomach. That's ridiculous.
Fine, Xenomorph,
What about Danny
Islington.
Trejo? He's got a big chick on his stomach.
But that's
Eric
religion.
K.
That's religious though. That's different.
All right, well, this will
Maybe
be
he's
our
a snake handler.
Disease has a good rating.
Snake handler.
disease.
Snake charmer as well.
Before you all go in the chat, why don't you leave your scores? If you want handies or toxicity or just overall whatever, or if you want to do all three, go ahead and do it. Leave your scores in the chat before you all peace out. That would be awesome. And I see Disease says, I give a 2.5 cup handies. That's a double D territory. All right. You heard the man. Disease is spoken. So yeah, great toxicity. Yeah, 7.5. Greatness, I'm gonna go with an 8.6 is where I'm gonna go for this one. 8.6, and it's an absolutely awesome movie. Definitely worthy of the repeat watches. And then Islington for 8 out of 10 toxic. Darius Munchausen for 7 out of 10. 70s. Why don't you plug in your channel, sir, as we start to head on our way out?
Oh, there it goes.
Well, thank you, sir. Thanks again for having me. Thanks to the rest of the panel, and thanks to that amazing chat. You're all brilliant. Absolutely love you all.
Most of you.
Most of you. Most of the panel are pretty good too. That 70s Rock Fan is my channel. Videos about science fiction and music and the odd movie and a couple of things up there I'm reasonably proud of recently. So, and you'll also find me here on Toxic Tuesdays and on Friday nights regularly on Foulball Productions, MF or Cocktail Lounge, and then muscling my way onto other people's streams when they'll have me. So
the man
that's
has
me.
spoken. All right, guys, that's 70s Rock Fan. Make sure you give him a look, give him a sub. You know where to find him. You know where he'll be. Well, 70s, thank you for coming on. As per usual, it's been another excellent panel full of handies. Thank you for your time and your hands.
Thank you for your time in your hands.
Caring, very caring hands. Yep.
And then
It's my strong hand.
Oh, now we're giving him a voice. Oh my God, this guy.
All right,
I
Jesse.
stole it from Scary
Give me
Movie.
your plugs.
Right up the butt. And I have a channel and I do live streams like this. So usually not with a topic, sometimes with. I've been streaming a lot of games lately because I didn't get my shit set up down here yet. Now I do. So now we're doing more streams. Also on Mead when it's not being struck by assholes. And I like coming on here as well. And wherever else. I don't fucking know. It's YouTube. We just hang out.
You heard the man. It's just YouTube. We just hang out, he says. All right, Mr. Mad Martigan, why don't you tell the world about what you got going on this week?
Yeah, first, has Handy Randy became like the unofficial mascot of the Toxic
I
Tuesday?
think so. We need a handy mascot.
Well, so tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, we're going to be trying out a new show. Don't know what it's going to be like. We have an idea of what we're going to be doing, but it's going to be called Get Off My Lawn. And we're going to talk about things that may make us upset, may talk about other things. I don't know. We're just going to give it a shot. We have a few ideas to do.
It looks awesome.
Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, you can check that out. We'll do it tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll probably do something on Saturday at 3 p.m. And that's it for me, man. Oh, next Tuesday, I'm going to be over on Nick's channel, and I'm going to be doing Toxic Tuesday, and I better be doing a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
Yeti,
worry.
you're not there. You know why? Because you're the most difficult Mad Barber boy to get in there because you got your little Yeti thing.
Oh, don't you worry, Matt. I promise.
Mhm.
As per usual, glad you come on, and you've been an absolutely excellent
Yeah.
host of Handies.
I was a little off tonight, man. I'm tired, bro.
No, dude. Hey, dude. I feel that, man. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. It's been good.
And plus,
Mark D.
my girlfriend messed up our power
Oh, I'm sorry
trying
to
to
hear.
plug things in.
The wrong
I
way.
fixed it. I'm a man.
You fixed the cross streams. You got the polarity right. Yep, good.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thanks for having me here. It's always awesome as usual. Sorry, Matt, that you didn't like the movie, but next week we'll do Ice Castles maybe or something. But
Planet
what's
of Women.
What?
Planet of Women.
But yeah, just appreciate the the link in there. Check out my channel. I got some segments called Enabling where I try to get you to spend money. I got a show like this Tron figure, action
Nice.
figures, toys, 3D printing. I'm on Clobbering Time.
Oh.
Cal Briggs, Clobby's Clubhouse on Thursday night. Sunday night I got a show, Sunday Night Geekery, and also just do gaming during the week and just random short videos. But yeah, always appreciate the opportunity to be on here, and thanks everyone for checking out the channel and subscribing. Thank you.
Awesome, sir. Thank you. All right, and last but not least, guys, you guys have been awesome. Toxic Tuesday is great. The fact that we've once again had a badass chat that has hung out, stuck around, despite all other going-ons in the YouTube-averse. Thank you for all the tips. I'm glad to help you show Thanos deck and Captain Marvel. It pleases the patriarchy. And thank you to my excellent panelists, whether they're consistently here or they're the mainstays. Always awesome. Guys, this is Harambe.
Oh,
Mm.
poor
R.I.P.
guy.
Rest in power, motherfucker.
So everyone, dicks out for Harambe. Obviously, turn off your cameras, but dicks out for Harambe. So this will be this. My girlfriend got me this new statue. I'm like, I gotta show off Harambe. There was just no way I wasn't going to. So, yes, I'm very grateful to chat. Thank you guys. You'll have a good night, and you'll find out the flick in the morning. I'm gonna surprise you all in the morning.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Big
I'm not waiting
surprise.
till the morning.
Is it terms of endearment?
Yes. Dicks out
Yentl.
for Harambe.
Yentl.
Can I
Wait,
get some D's in chat for Harambe?
He needs a fake banana to hold.
He does need a banana to hold. Yeah.
I would say a real banana, but like it would just keep rotting. You'd have to keep replacing.
You guys will see in the morning. It'll be great. It'll be excellent. And keep your eyes and ears open on the socials, and you'll find out. But until we do this again, you all have a fantastic, magical evening. Good night. Goodbye.